what you just said isn't a metaphor too? No, 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 no. That should be taken literally, and then what he said over here should be a metaphor. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse. That's all it is.
Yep. Not to mention, all religions, for the most part, are violent.
Yes, and all sorts of. I mean, didn't they know that people in the South, so they can okay it, and they can preach about it and say, oh, this is an okay thing. Even Jesus wasn't opposed to slavery.
Shouldn't he have been though, since he
Jesus said to the slaves, he says, obey your evil masters as you would obey God. That's biblical. I'm telling you, I've studied religion extensively. In fact, I could even tell Christians their original background, like what they believed at the beginning of Christianity, how it formed, the battles that went on within Christianity, and what they believed in early Christianity. So, at the end of the day, this is why, you know, Mike and Matt do not generally engage with me. Because when I study something, I study it thoroughly. If I have an interest, I will study it thoroughly. That's just the nature of my mindset. Am I right, Kayla? I'm neurotic in nature. I mean, neurotic can be a good or bad thing, which is a whole nother conversation, but I guess the point is, I know, and that's why I'm atheist. But, yeah, Kayla, just talk about something, please, so I just be quiet.
If I don't know what to talk about.
You're a woman, there's always something to talk or complain about.
That's not always true either, especially when it comes to me.
Oh, Kayla, you crack me up. But at least you try to be as honest as you can be, and that's all I can expect of you. And which is also one of the reasons why I love hanging out with you. You are an honest person.
Oh, I would hope so. I mean, I was raised to be honest.
So whether you're raised or not, you decide, you make the decision to be. But yeah, Kayla, could you see me up on the pulpit preaching?
No.
Well, I mean, okay, wait, take away, like, strip me of the atheism. I mean, just on the basis of preaching. No? You still wouldn't think so?
If it wasn't about religion, probably.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I'm long-winded. And I'm very, like, philosophical, so it would probably make sense that that would be a way to go. But yeah. So nothing going on with all the harassment or anything at all?
It only happens a couple times a week, like maybe twice a week.
Huh. Okay.
Besides that, they leave me alone.
Yeah, I remember you used to talk to me a lot about this stuff, about what was going on.
Yeah, and nowadays there's really just not much to talk about because it's just like, well, they haven't done anything, so, but they kind of do like twice a week.
Hmm. Okay. Fair enough.
It's just the same shit.
See, that right there is what leads me to believe that you're being honest about everything that you said in regards to that. Because if you were just looking for attention, when I said that, you probably would have had something to say. Right? I mean, wouldn't the logic follow?
I don't know. Like, personally, I just want to be left alone by the person. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. And then not to mention I have a kid, so
Yeah.
it's just like, why the fuck would I want to deal with this kind of shit, you know?
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're just haters and they're jealous because they're not you.
And they aren't probably getting as laid by their significant other as much as I am. Well, actually, I'm not getting any, so it's all good. Because I don't want any. And plus, I'm still slightly healing too, so I'm just like,
Right,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
And plus, you're not overly sexual in your nature either.
No, I'm not.
So that would make sense.
I'll find any excuse just to not get in the hanky-panky crap.
Yeah. That's funny. You know, I'm in the same boat you are. Like, I would rather not deal with another human being in that aspect. Like, I am completely okay with, like, just doing my own thing. Like, if I feel the need, you rub one out, that's it. End of story. I don't need another person to complicate life. Because that's really what it is when you're dealing with women. A complication of life. But, I don't know, some people like that. I don't.
I don't either.
Plus, you have to spend money, you have to give them all sorts of attention, and all sorts of, like, there's baggage that comes with that, with having a girlfriend. That's exactly what kind of goofy, in a way, sexual to some degree, but not like an actual relationship, you know? It was very ideal. Because it was on a game. And I can take it or leave it at any time, pretty much.
Yeah, see, that's great.
Was great. She's never got on since.
That
I
sucks,
wonder
dude.
if something happened to her.
Or maybe she just got tired of playing games.
Well, it's not likely that she would just abruptly never get on again without saying something.
I mean, yeah, that is kind of weird.
Because she was a very social person. So it's not fitting within her personality to do that. So I'm thinking something happened, or her PlayStation broke, or something like that.
But if her PlayStation broke, wouldn't she have been able to afford a new one?
I don't know. That can vary. I don't know how successful she was at whatever else in her life.
Woo!
Or whether she could be on welfare. Who knows? I didn't take the time to get into her personal life, and she didn't do it to me, so... Like I said, it was literally just that. It was just a face value, friendship, relationship type of a thing. You know?
Right.
Nothing was physical, nothing was really all that personal even. It was basically just googly talk. And I liked it that way. I prefer it that way. I would love it if I could specifically only have an online girlfriend, rather than
Then deal
a
with the
physical
person in
one.
real life.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
If it saves you the drama, I should go for it.
Mm. And the best thing about it, she wasn't dramatic, and she didn't sit here and complain all day. I liked her a lot in that aspect. Now, apparently she was a big, hefty girl, though, in real life, from what I've been told.
By who?
A few people that knew her, supposedly. Well, she also admitted to being a very heavy-set person. Like, I think she said she was like 320.
Oh.
Yeah, so big girl. 200 pounds, I can work with. I'm probably not gonna physically date somebody who's 320 pounds. Because that comes with a whole new set of problems. You know?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, I would assume it would have its problems.
Huh? Yeah, oh yeah, it would, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh. Plus, the physical attraction probably wouldn't be there.
Probably not.
Right? Like, how many people are willing to get in the sack with people that big?
Not
I mean,
very.
I'm definitely not being a bottom, for sure. Because I'm a thin guy. Like, for my height, I'm underweight. Well, that's what Sarah keeps telling me anyway.
Whoa. Whoa. Well, that did not work out the way I wanted it to. Fuck.
Kayla, you're probably the quietest girl I've ever come across.
That's a good thing,
You crack me up. Seriously.
I mean, it's better than being a loudmouth that doesn't know when to shut up.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. Although you could technically call me a loudmouth, to some degree.
Nah.
Or to the very least talkative.
See, that's not really much of a loudmouth. That's just someone who's talkative.
I try not to be, like, abrasive. You know, and because, you know, you tend to rub people the wrong way and it affects you negatively socially.
I guess.
And I've come to realize that although, unlike what Mike says, I'm not a genius, but I do try to keep ahead of things. So, like, generally my way of thinking is if I know someone's going to react, or if I have information, I'm going to try to plan out the steps, you know, 1 or 2 steps ahead, to some degree, you know? At least I have enough intelligence to do that. So my mind tries to think, or at least, yeah, quote unquote, tries to think steps ahead if I can. I don't know if you take the time to notice or care, but, you know, I do it kind of even subconsciously. That is, if I'm actually paying attention.
If.
I don't like to pay attention if I don't have to. And at the same time, I have to be aware that I have the schizo mentality. So I'm going to trail off, I'm going to, you know, see things a bit differently than everybody else. And that's okay. You know, you work with what you got. To the best of your ability.
That's true.
You know? And if people cannot understand that, you let them go.
Eat a dick.
They go their own way.
They can eat a dick.
But you can generally find people, especially online now, that, you know, you can be friends with and that people can, at least to some degree, relate